Hi. Okay, so a quick little video on spirit guides. You have a spirit team. Quite a few people ask me about this, and I feel this is like a really important topic. Like, you go your entire life not realizing that you have an entire team of guides surrounding you at all times. I mean, you like literally have a posse with you all the time, following you everywhere you go, and you don't even know about it. Like, can you imagine how discouraging that is to them? Wow. Yeah. So I feel like it's really, really important for you to understand that you are never, ever alone. Literally, never alone. You have an entire team of guides with you all the time. This can range from a couple to a dozen or more. I mean, really, it can. It just depends on what point you are in your life, who you are, what your life purpose is, there's what you're going through at the time. There's a lot of things that determine how many guides you have. But I'm just going to give you a little overview. Later down the line, I'm going to offer a more in-depth class on this, but for now, this is just too important of stuff to wait on. And somebody recently asked me this again yesterday, and it just made me think, wow, I got to put this out there now so people are aware and they don't feel hopeless. They don't feel lost and alone completely when their family doesn't support them or their best friend turns their back on them. They are never alone, and they need to know that. They're loved unconditionally, not judged, always forgiven, and that goes for all of us. So here goes. Okay, so prior to being born, you actually sit down and have a talk with someone, and you actually choose your first guide, your main guide. This can be anybody. It can be somebody that was in a previous past life with you, multiple past lives with you. It can be somebody that has been coming with you all along your soul journey. It can be somebody that you met in the other realm while you're there. It can be somebody that God, Creator, Source, whoever you call them, is recommending for you. This could be anybody, but it's somebody that is spiritually advanced, somebody that you feel is very wise and can help you learn all your life lessons that you need to learn, that you believe will love and support you all along the way, because this main guide stays with you from the time you are born all the way to the time that you pass out of this life. And again, he or she can continue with you into the next life if you so choose. After that, you could have a second main guide, even possibly a third, usually two, but everybody has at least one main spirit guide. Now, this main spirit guide is usually a human spirit, someone that lived on this earth as a human previously and knows exactly what it's like to be human. They know the experience, they know the feelings, the emotions, the triggers, the temptations, everything that we go through, which makes them perfect to be a guide because they know what we're dealing with, right? And they can give us that human perspective on things and understand when we're really, really struggling and why. Now, this is usually a human, the main guide especially, but there are some others that it could be, and I'll get to those in a minute. But then, at the time of your birth or shortly prior to your birth, you also are assigned a guardian angel. Now, this guardian angel is assigned to you by God, Creator, Source, Universe, whatever you want to call your divine being. But this angel is your guardian angel that stays with you and protects you from birth to death in this lifetime. There's at least one guardian angel. Sometimes you have two, but you at least always have one guardian angel with you at all times, from beginning to the end. So that means at any given moment, you always, always have at least one spirit guide, your main spirit guide, and one guardian angel with you. At the very least, you have two loving, caring beings that are divinely guided, all wise, all knowing, with you at all times. Now, the neat thing about the angels are they were never human. They're angelic beings, heavenly beings, and they are a source of like complete wisdom and divine energy and unconditional love, completely forgiving, non-judgmental, just amazing, amazing divine beings. And while they never lived a human existence, so they don't know what it's like firsthand, they know what it's like from learning about it, but not firsthand from living it. But they know what it's like to overall be a human, but they can share that divine experience and that divine magical protection that they can provide for you that a human spirit cannot. So you've got these two amazing different perspectives that can help you at all times and give you different perspectives, and they have a different way of looking at things. But no matter what, the best part is they're both guided divinely, so they get everything that you need for you at any time. Now, you always have more guides than that, but they can come and go. Not the first two, like I just mentioned, they stay with you all the time. But you can have other human spirits as guides, and you can have other angels as guides that can come and go. They may stay with you, they may not. But they usually carry some kind of a specialty that they're really good at. So, like, there will be one that will teach you your spiritual journey and help guide you and keep you on your spiritual path. There'll be another that's a healer that will help you with all your medical issues and help you help others with medical issues and be a healer if that's your purpose. There will be others that will help you with different types of matters and topics, like relationships, things of that nature. And a lot of these guides will come to you during a specific event or a life challenge, a period of your life where you need their particular expertise, or they'll come to teach you a lesson or a message. And once they teach that to you and you learn it, and they're no longer needed, they'll often move on and go to the next person that needs them. But quite a few do stay with you your entire life. I've known people that have had anywhere from 3 to 4 up to 30 guides, and it really depends on what you're going through at the time, how much help you really need, and where your life purpose lies, and how many other humans you're going to help with your purpose. So you get more help with the bigger mission that you have in life. And the more that you're going to have an impact on all of humanity, the more you need that insight and that guidance. Now, you can also have guides that are spirit, that are loved ones that have passed on. So say you have a beautiful Aunt Rose that was your favorite aunt, and she has a real good connection with you and loves you, and she passes away. Well, she can become a guide. Now, more often than not, our guides are not relatives. That's usually the case. Sometimes our loved ones will pass, and then they will just kind of take on that role of watching over you, but they're not our technical guides. They aren't assigned as guides. They just choose to stick around and watch over us. But there is a rare occasion where a loved one passes away and chooses to be our guide, and it's allowed by the universe, so they become our loved one that watches over us as a real technical guide. Now, when I said before that I'd get to this later, there are other things that can be our guides. Now, some of you are going to think these are crazy. Some of you don't even believe they exist. But it all depends on who you talk to. And if you talk to spirit, they will tell you they do exist. And that is elemental beings, fairies, gnomes, pixies, sprites, you name it. It goes on and on and on. Elves, yeah, they're all real. Just because you haven't seen them doesn't mean they don't exist. They're in a different vibrational energy, and we don't align with them in our energy level, and they're in a different dimension. So for both of these reasons, we don't see them. Certain ones choose to not show themselves to us, but they have the capabilities to do so. In fact, with fairies, we had a great relationship with them for many, many, many generations until we kind of blew it and we stopped believing in them. We kind of took them for granted. We ruined our relationship with them, and we wound up having them pull back and stop appearing to us. but they still appear to children, and they appear to people that have the abilities to see them for different reasons. But they can be a guide, so you can have an elemental being as one of your guides. And you can also have, in some people's cases, galactic beings. That's right, I said it. Galactic beings, as in what you would consider a star person, alien, you say the name. Fact of the matter is, all God's creation, all created by the same source, just like us. There is life out there, and certain beings on other planets are huge supporters of human earthlings, and we are very supported by some of these beings that choose to help us and guide us because they have a very vested interest in our planet, and the humans on this planet and our future affects many, many planets and other areas of the universe. So yeah, that is quite possible, no matter how crazy it sounds. Do a little more research and you'll find a lot of information out there on it. It's up to you whether you choose to believe or not. Not for me to convince you. I'm just sharing the knowledge of what Spirit tells me. The rest is up to you. But that is the gist on our spirit guides. But as I mentioned, many of them have specialties, special areas, and there are specific names for different types of guides. Some guides will be with you from the time your soul was created all the way till you no longer reincarnate in lifetimes and you ascend spiritually. It really depends on the individual situation, but every single person that exists on this earth has spirit guides. And it seems like there are quite a few people that don't realize that, so I really want them to be educated about this matter. So that's the basics for now. That's where I'm going to leave you with today and let you kind of take in all that crazy information, because it may be completely new and foreign to you, and that's okay. You choose to do more research if you wish. If not, leave it there for now until more info comes along and resonates with you. But like I mentioned, in the near future, I am going to offer a full class on this matter that will go into much more detail about the individual types of guides, what they're here for, how they help you, and how you can actually utilize their help when you need it. But that's the most important thing next to knowing about your guides, is they are here for you. They want to help you. But they also honor our free will. The same way that God gave us free will, and He honors that, doesn't tell us what to do. Well, God can tell us what to do. But our guides do not. Our guides honor that free will. So while they will intervene in a lot of things in our life, and they will give us lots of help, when it comes to a matter of choice, an actual decision that we need to make that could really affect our life, they won't interfere. So if you want help in a particular matter like that, you need to ask them and give them permission to step in. I suggest asking them to help you and guide you to whatever's for your highest and greatest good. That way you're guaranteed to get the help that you're going to be happiest with, and you know you're not going to regret it later. But know that they know a lot more than we do, and you have to trust that and understand that they may have things go a certain way for you that you may not think you want it to be, but you find out after the fact that it was the best thing for you, whether you believed it at the time or not. Just like God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers. Yeah, that guy you really wanted to stay with, but he wound up leaving you anyway. Then you find out afterwards, thank God, because the right one came along shortly after. Yeah, that kind of thing. And our guides will not interfere with something if it's already chosen, you have already decided it, or if it's a life lesson that we need to learn. So prior to being born, we actually plan out what kind of a life is conducive to us learning all the life lessons we still need to learn. Your spiritual journey continues from life to life to life, And each time you reincarnate, you have more lessons to learn that will help you become more and more spiritually advanced and a better spiritual being. And you predetermine what kind of challenges and what kind of a life you're going to go through before you're even born. And that's your choice, because you know that it's, even though it may be challenging, it may be difficult, and you may have to suffer, you know that it's working towards a greater plan for your higher good in the end, not just that temporary, immediate happiness, but the long run happiness. And if that's the case, and you chose a particular life lesson to go through, then when you ask on this earth during this lifetime for them to intervene and change it, they may not, because they know you would be upset if they did. Now, they may. In some situations, they may. But for the most, if they think together collectively that's what's best for you, they may. Or if they think you've learned the lesson already enough that they can let you off the hook sooner. But otherwise, they won't intervene, because they know that's not what's best for you in the long run, even if you want to stop suffering now. But we got to remember, everything happens for a reason. There's a lesson to be learned in everything. So trust that and know that they will help you to the best of their ability, what they're capable of doing, following the universal rules and laws, but ultimately what's best for you in your highest good. So keep in mind, ask your guides for help, then trust them and know that they will. Give them permission to help you in the areas that require a choice or a decision on your part, and be detailed. Yes, they can read your minds. Yes, they know what you want ultimately, but you need to give details, because they're so careful to honor your boundaries and not want to overstep, that you really need to be detailed about what you ask. But if you do those things, you will develop a really strong connection with your guides, and they will actually bond with you, and you can actually get to know them personally on a much higher level. So trust and know that they're there. Reach out to them, talk to them. You can even ask them for a sign. Ask them to send you a certain color feather, or to help you find a dime out on the street or something, whatever you choose, and then watch and wait and see what happens. It may not be immediate, but within a day or so, it's usually very possible, and it does happen. So that's kind of the rundown. Hopefully you'll enjoy the future course that I'll be offering soon. But if you have any questions in the meantime, don't hesitate to hit that message button on my page and ask me the question. Please feel free to check out my services page for actual readings and different services that are available to you. But I'm always here for you. And please remember, you are never, never alone. And know that God loves you so much. The universe loves you so much. They have your back. So of course they're going to provide you with your own cheerleading team to support you, guide you, and love you every step of the way. So even during those darkest moments, you may feel alone, and all you have to do is reach out to them, and you'll feel them. You'll know that they're there. All right? So talk to you later. Till next time. Namaste. Love you all.